At the time I set up the group, it wasn't wasn't Māori specific, it wasn't non-Māori specific, it was for anyone. Because, we all grieve differently, however the pain is the same, and for me it didn't matter what ethnicity you are. Some of our Māori would do a karakia and some of the others will do a prayer, that they understand, Māori, non-Māori, again, but everyone had a turn. If they wanted to have a go, would say, who would like to do the prayer or karakia today? Someone will put their hand up and do it, and it was okay.
Grief is so much around language, and I think if you've got different cultures, there's such different language around death and grief, and so we can all learn from a different cultural aspect to that.
Culturally sensitive.
Yeah.
And that's that facilitation.
That's the
facilitation, and the importance of kind of encouraging people to, to go back to all the time. This is how it is for me. This is what I draw on, so that ideas aren't being presented as, universal or A big part of the work is bringing forward people's coping and their strengths, and what it is that they kind of draw on to keep going in life. What are the kind of foundations that they sit on, and of course for some people that will be religious or spiritual kinds of and so these things very much become part of the conversation for those people where those things are important.
I think we assume with a topic like suicide, bereavement and loss that it would be just a minefield of difficult situations, but when you're hearing people's experience and stories, it's their story, and it's like you're enabling them to tell that story. When it does go off the rails, it can be really unsettling for other members of the group, and often it is around religion, often it's about the blame question and blaming an organisation, blaming the system.
People have got a beef with systems or organisations, and I try and let them know fairly early on that what we're about is a support group, and that's our primary focus is a support group. There are other people out there fighting those battles, and we can put them in touch with them, but the group is to support each other. So.
Self-care is probably the hardest thing, because we do this because we want success, we want people to turn up, we want to, and sometimes nobody will turn up, or sometimes the people that were really into it will leave and they've done their time at the group and they move on, and you go, is that something that I've done, or could I've done that better? So you begin to doubt yourself, but I think it's just the natural life cycle of groups.
And I think that one of the biggest things for me in self-care is having the opportunity to talk with other people about the experience of running the group, because I facilitate the group on my own. There's a certain amount of debriefing that I can do on my own, and I definitely take time to do that. I kind of sit quietly afterwards and kind of review, really, think about how that's been and think about how it might have been different, what might have gone better. And then from that, there might be some things that I can draw out to say, okay, I think I need to go and talk with somebody about this. I need to talk more. If there's something that I'm troubled by, if there's a particular person that I'm concerned about. So identifying when I can manage on my own and when I need support of my colleagues.
For me, I'm different again, because like getting into this, I didn't know about looking out for myself. I was more worried about looking out for those families because they needed that support. I need that support, so we were working off each other. But when I'd go home, I was taking it with me. And yes, I did take on a bit too much, where it got to the stage where some of the stories that were shared were conflicting and mixing in with my own. And I was getting overloaded and very tired, but I did not know what to do about that. And then I just suddenly had a thought, like, I need to take a step back because I've got my own problems going on right now. I can't be doing that. So I had to learn just doing things myself, you know, to push that away. I know the other whānau are suffering and all that, but so am I. But I just don't need to carry all of that. It's not mine.
Success for me is on the individual, when seeing that spark of recognition when they hear something that somebody else in the group has said that just resonates with them. So it's a simple little moment within a meeting that they go, that's exactly how I felt, and I've never heard anyone else express it.
I agree with what you're saying, and that spark that you see in someone, that subtle lift in where they are, or where they've been, from where they've been to where they are. That is, I suppose, for me, that's rewarding. But the success is in them finding it themselves.
Yeah, for me, success to me is, through sad circumstances, the connections made. Just knowing that you've met some beautiful people who are willing to go out there and do something, because that's what you want. You want to build them up. You want to give them that confidence. You want them to. You want to empower them to believe in themselves, that everything's going to be okay, and that means so much to me, that we're making a difference.